Okay, welcome back. In this video series, we are going to focus on the project management functionality of 2020 Construction Cloud. And here we're looking at the list view of the projects that we currently have in our system. So we can see that we have, Bishop Highline, and we have a test project and Saving Grace. From here, we can create a new project, import projects, or we can click on and see the details of these projects. And up here at the top, you can see that we can search or filter or group by, and we'll talk about some of those features in a video down the road here. But what I want to do first is just click on one of these and show the obvious details of a project. So I'm going to click on the Saving Grace Lutheran Church. I just want to point out some of the things that are on this main screen here, and we're going to start at the top. So the first thing that we can see is that we have started to create a breadcrumb. And for those of you that do not know what a breadcrumb is, it basically is a path that we have been following in the system. So first we were on the project lists, and now we're looking at the Saving Grace Lutheran Church here. So if I were to click back on the projects, with one click, I'm right back to where I started at our project list. So let's jump back in and look at that Saving Grace Lutheran Church. Below that, I have some buttons to either edit the details of this project, or I have a button to create a new project. So real easy to go in and make some changes or create new from there. Moving on down here, we have an action button that allows us to see any of the attachments that we have added into this project. It's really easy to add attachments. All you have to do is take anything that's on your desktop or any file of any kind and simply just drag and drop it. I'm going to pull up my desktop here so we can see a listing of some of the items that I have. Here I have a case study or an accounting comparison. You'll notice that as I hover over the form here, it says drop it here. So when I do that, now we can see that our attachments is 1. So if I click on that, I can see that there's that accounting comparison PDF. I can drop as many files of any type onto this project to keep track of all of the important documents and files that are related to this. Our next action tab is actually called Action, and this allows us to go through and duplicate or delete or maybe copy some analytic codes or budgets, basically do some important actions to this project. Below that, we have our status bar. So we can see what stage this project is in. This one has been awarded, and we'll be working on this, and pretty soon it will be a project that is in progress. Next, we have what we call our smart buttons. Basically, our ribbons with some associated buttons that will allow us to dive into the details of a particular project. For example, if we wanted to see all of the RFIs for this project, we can see that this one has 0, but by clicking on this, it would take us to a list view of all of the different RFIs that were available for that project. Again, noticing our breadcrumb at the top, just clicking back will take us right back to that project. So very, very easy. The next one button bar we have is for some analysis reports. So if we want the details of our budgets and be able to do some cost analysis, we can click on our budget analysis report and see a work in progress report or a cost analysis report of all of the budget accounts that we have. And these ones happen to be organized by CSI code, and we can see what our original budgets are for each of these and see some details. And we'll talk about these budget accounts and these analysis reports in another video. Again, we'll use our breadcrumb to go right back to our project form here. The next major section of the project form here is the main form. So if we were to click Edit, we could see all of these fields, and we could very easily go through and make any changes to the details of this project. Over here on the right-hand side, you can see that the first field here is called Company. With 2020 Construction Cloud, we have the ability to utilize multi-companies. So we can have If you're a general contractor and you self-perform concrete or you do framing, you may have a separate company for each one of those different trades. And we can set each one of those up, and we can associate projects and invoices and all of the different components of the 2020 Construction Cloud to individual companies to allow us to get better reporting. You can fill in other information like who the project manager is, who the salesperson, and the bid date. And I'm just going to put in my name here for all of these fields because we do have a live email system, and if I were to put somebody else, they would actually receive emails and get notifications while we're playing around doing a demo. You'll notice though, when I hit save here, that all of the contacts that I add to this project, whether it be a project manager, a salesperson, or if I were to go in and create subcontracts or purchase orders and associate vendors to those, all of those key stakeholders and contacts would be grouped in this next section of the project form. You can see that we have these project tabs. The first one is our project contacts. So I have added Brant Wadsworth here as project manager and salesperson. So he was automatically added as a project contact on this job. And then we have other important tabs. We can see a map of the project or dates and the settings. And there's a lot of things that we can cover, and we'll talk about the project settings in another video. But as we move down below, now we have what we call the notifications and alerts. This is a system set up for all of the objects inside of 2020 Construction Cloud. And it's basically an audit trail that allows us to put in notes and keep track of all of the changes and all of the edits and all of the important information that's related to this particular project, for example. So if we look at the alerts and notifications down here, we can see that, Tammy created this particular project 21 days ago. We have some accounts that have been assigned to it. But one of the neat things about it is that we can click the button to log an internal note. We can type in our notes here. And as if we are creating an internal note, this will only be for our eyes only. Remember that 2020 is a fully collaborative project management solution. And that means that we can send alerts and notifications to all of the stakeholders in the system. Anybody that's in these project contacts can receive these alerts and notifications. So I'm going to save this one by hitting the log button. And now I've just added my notes into this. But I could create a new message. And a new message, you'll notice this is automatically going to be sent to the person that set this up, Tammy Salinas. I'm going to get rid of her. And I'm going to, Brant wants to send everyone an email. You'll spell better than I do, hopefully. But now I can go through, and when I hit send, it's going to send this to all of the followers of this particular job. And we set up those followers right over here. So I can add followers. I'm going to add Brant Wadsworth. And when I hit add followers, this is going to send Brant Wadsworth an email and let him know that he's been invited to follow this project. And then when I send here, all of the followers for this project will receive all of the notifications that I set up. So there I can hear my email coming in. So we'll talk about this later on in future videos as well. But we want to continue down to the very bottom here where we have our live help and support. So you'll notice on every page, no matter where you are in the system, if you have any questions or you come across a bug or anything, if you need to chat live with our support team, all you need to do is just click on that, put in your name, your email address, let us know who you are, and then as soon as you hit that, you can hear that our whole support team receives a notification and we're ready to chat with you and answer any questions that you have. So that's all we're going to talk about in this first one. In the next couple of videos in this video series, we're going to dive into some of the details. We'll start talking about each one of the different buttons on the smart buttons here, and just make sure that you have a really good understanding of what the project management features are in 2020 Construction Cloud. So thank you, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.